Oh, I am in a great mood today, BT. It's been boiling for a while. You can feel it in the New York sports air. Met fans are loving every second of their team, specifically Juan Soto. And I really feel like now, for the first time since he made the decision, coming to the Mets, the Yankee fan is starting to get bothered because Soto is getting hot.
Yeah, you believe that. You actually do believe that. I know you believe that.
Oh, yes, I do.
I got to tell you, man. Well, I don't care. Now, I still hope that he has a rough season. I'm on the record with that. Right. I want to see the Mets do well, and the more home runs he hits, and the more he gets on base, and the more he starts to shuffle, and the more he begins to look like Juan Soto, the less I like it. I'm upfront with that. I am absolutely petty about that. He left the Yankees, and while I'm okay with it, that doesn't mean that I hope he has a great season. So far, he has not. He's picking up. He's a great hitter. He's going to eventually find his way. Here we are finding his way. We're at a very interesting path now because the Knicks have diverted us and distracted us for a while. And now we jump into, now the Knicks haven't hired their coach yet, so that's still a story. But now we jump into the pool, and the Met fans feeling great. Yankee fans feeling great. I could be wildly off base with this because I don't jump into the pettiness as much as others. I don't really care about I don't bear the cross. I don't carry this weight, this burden. I don't really think about Juan Soto except when I watch him. I don't know about others. I really don't care as much as you think that I do.
But there's even a love. Now, by the way, I think it's the right feeling to be bothered. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I think Yankee fans should be bothered, and I believe that they are, but even to the extent...
But bothered because he left them or bothered because they miss him? Because right now,
both.
They don't really miss him right now. They might miss him in October. Yanks don't miss him now at all. Yeah. Yanks have the best OPS in baseball.
Right.
It's a fact. They don't miss him right now. So he wants about the wound is open. Yeah. That's one aspect. Baseball, I don't miss them.
Why? Because they beat the Royals?
Well, I mean, you guys just beat the Rockies. You come in, you start playing the King Cohen music the other day.
Like
when you beat the Rockies.
The Yankees look like world beaters against the Royals. Look, here's the thing. You admitted to beat. Now, some I think are on another level. Go out there and boo Juan Soto when we return to Yankee Stadium, all that stuff. Oh, he stinks. The contract's going to be bad. We didn't want him. I call BS on that. I know that the Yankee fan is crushed that a player of Juan Soto's magnitude, who carried them to the postseason a year ago, was their best player in the postseason a year ago, chose the New York Mets over the Yankees. And now you've seen the Mets have team success. Now you're starting to see Soto have some success. So when before it was easy for the Yankee fan to pile on and be like, oh, he's awful. Look at this. He's not even the best 22 in town, blah, 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 blah. Now, with Soto shuffling, with Soto being happy, with Soto hammering the baseball, with Soto having the results, now I do think it's going to start to get back to the level where it's going to annoy the Yankee fans. To what extent? Some may be more bothered than you, but I know that they're checking the box scores. I know they're seeing the highlights, and the more and more Soto starts to get those numbers back up, the more it's going to bother the Yankee fan and create that rivalry even more so with the Mets and Yanks.
I'm not saying that the rivalry doesn't get ratcheted up. I think the next Subway Series is going to almost feel like October because, listen, I'm sure he's going to have a 1 for 12 or so before then. But Juan Soto's going to roll in, maybe not. Juan Soto's going to roll into that series feeling a whole hell of a lot more like Juan Soto, going through the baggage and the burden and the circumstances of going back to Yankee Stadium. That was a lot.
Right.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. We attributed his slow start to him, missing some of us did, missing the Yankees, whatever. Did he make the right decision? Quite frankly, he may have just been, in his own mind, not even knowing this, almost lamenting having to go back there for a couple of games, but not even missing them. But it was in his mind that it was an obstacle and it prevented him from being free and being the hitter that he is.
Right.
Now he went back, it's over, crossed the bridge, and Juan Soto's back to being Juan Soto. But let's also not get this twisted. The Yankees right now, the New York Yankees, have the best run differential in baseball. Yeah. They've got the highest team OPS. They've got the projected MVP. They've got the projected Cy Young Award winner in Max Fried. And the other thing, which I was more okay with Soto leaving than some, almost every other variable that was going to be important in their success this year has worked out well. Goldschmidt, check. Dominguez, more for the left side, check. They've done Volpe's growth, check. He's got fifth most doubles. I'm not saying that I'll give you this. We got to always keep it real on the show. Yeah. There's always going to be a little piece of me that's bothered by the fact that he chose the Mets. I can say that freely, but Juan Soto does not consume my thoughts. Juan Soto is not providing any interference with my enjoyment of what's turning out to be a pretty awesome season so far. The other people, I can't speak for them. Me, have fun being a Met. You're in Queens. We good in the Bronx.
Right.
We okay.
Then I think everybody's on the same page.
There we go.
Because Yankee fans are happy with their plan B, and I'm happy with Juan Soto. I don't think Met fans can be happier. So if Yankee fans are happy with their team, and
how could they not be?
Well, because I don't believe that what they have is as legit as Juan Soto. Like, you could talk about all the numbers and the plan B and all these different. I saw Max Fried against the Dodgers. How'd that go?
I mean, come on, it's one start, dude. I mean, the guy's going to win a Cy Young.
That's all it takes in the postseason is one start.
I understand that, but I mean,
we're talking about,
Pettit got rocked a few times.
I'm not talking about regular season anymore. I'm talking about World Series. The Mets are now on a point where it should be about the World Series. It's World Series.
Yeah, welcome to the club. It's about time you guys got to that point. We're always there. Welcome. It feels good.
I'm happy to be here.
Well, come on in.
It feels
just
great.
Don't get too close. Come on in.
This feels great. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be led by Juan Soto.
Yeah.
But I don't truly believe. I think Yankee fans had to accept Plan B and then talk themselves into, well, this is going to be good. And then because of the results so far, it's easy to say, well, look at this. We're better off without Soto. I don't believe that that's the case. I believe there will become a point where they're going to miss Soto. I believe that the majority of Yankee fans, yourself included, admitted checking the box score, watching the games, whatever.
I'm also doing it for my job. I watch the Mets no matter what. But if I wasn't, yeah.
From a fan perspective,
that's different.
You want to see him fail.
Yeah.
Just like from a fan perspective, I am on record saying that I cared more about Juan Soto's success early on than I did the team's success. I wanted to see Soto go nuts.
Yeah.
And I believe that there's going to be some fireworks come 4th of July weekend when the Mets host the Yankees. But point is, good. We could all be happy then. Should be nothing to complain about. Met fans aren't complaining about their team. Nobody's worried about that contract. All of a sudden, Juan Soto looks as happy as a pig, and you know what? To be a New York Met. Mets are playing like one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. And the Yankee fans, everybody's happy then, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And by the way, the Mets should be playing like one of the best teams. You certainly paid enough for the roster.
Yeah.
See, that's what can't get distorted here. This is what's going to be an interesting transition for you and for your brethren.
Yeah.
It's no longer, wow, look at these. Outside of the 86 Mets, almost every other elite Mets team was constructed, for the most part, of overachievers. Going back to 69 when it all, I think you got to believe was 73. But,
2006 was,
73 was you got to believe. But 69, the miracle Mets, nobody saw that coming. 73, obviously lose to the A's, who were a dynasty at that point. And they didn't really have that star power. 86 laden with stars. But, and 2000 had some horses as well. And, I love David Wright and Reyes. But generally, like, the Mets are overachieve when they do well. Little overachievement. Can you really buy it? Are they really one of those great teams? Do they really belong here? Well, now the measurement, no longer on the curve here, guys.
Right. There's
no more, I don't know if you do this when you play golf. When I play golf, if I hit my first shot in the woods on the first hole, I'm taking a breakfast ball. I don't care. If I fire one in the woods later on, I'm taking a mulligan. I don't care. There's no more mulligans with the Metsies. When you have that kind of money and you have that kind of attention, and now you have the star power that you so desperately craved, welcome to the big boys club. We're comfortable here. Let's see if you guys like it.
So am I. I love it. I love this. And do you know why I love it even more than just your normal, well, the Mets spent a lot of money on their roster and they're having success? Because their biggest piece stings the Yankee fan. You can put up a front all you want. I see right through you guys. I know it hurts. Soto is coming. He's arrived. All right, BT Sal, the fan, our friends at Town Fair Tire. Remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. We'll get to the Knicks stuff coming up in a little bit later on. We want to start with some baseball today. Flavio is calling from Hawthorne, New Jersey. Good morning, Flavio. How are you, my friend?
Morning, guys. Way to start the show, but Sal, you're a little delusional if you're thinking Yankee fans are all upset about Soto doing well with the Mets. We've got the Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
We've got the MVP. We've got first place, and we cannot wait to meet the Mets in the World Series so we can shut it down once and for all.
Oh, Flavio, be careful what you wish for, my friend. You want no part of this Mets machine. Trust me.
It is happening. It is happening. Wait for the next series. Wait for the next Subway Series. That's going to feel like a World Series game. That's going to be foreshadowing the World Series of 2025, my friend.
I'll tell you, it almost seems, thanks for the call, like that's the only way it's going to get settled. I mean, really, if you think about this.
Regular season not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Well, it's always relevant for us because we love the sport. Both teams are really good. Both teams have a ton of stars. But there's going to have to, at some point, when Juan Soto is still in his absolute prime, and there's a lot of years for him to do this, it must be settled in the World Series, where either the Mets win and he's a stud, or the Yankees win and he goes Dave Winfield. Hits $120 in the World Series, whatever it might be.
We'd love to see it get resolved head to head. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way if one of the teams gets there. Like, if the Yankees get there, it's going to be like, hey, we were there.
That's true, too. That's a fair point.
Or vice versa.
I'm saying that's the ultimate. Yes. Yeah, but like if the Mets get there and the Yankees don't, forget it. Now we just got to stick our head in the sands for a little bit. Yankee fans will still try to squawk about it. Not me. Right. I'll take the L and I'll move on like a man. And conversely, when the Yankees get there and if the Mets don't, well, now it's like, this is what we do. And, like Correct. I said, the crown's heavy.
Yeah, and then I would have to say, you know what? I was wrong.
Of course, and you would. I know you would.
Plan B was
it would
better.
Hurt, though.
I'll tell you, I've taken. See, here's the difference. I'm weathered in taking the L's.
Yeah, you're used to it.
I'm used to being on the side that Yankee fans are now putting themselves on.
Yeah,
and that's why I love this. I can take the punches. I've taken plenty. I've been knocked out plenty of times before. My entire existence as a Met fan, I've been knocked down to the mat and try to get up and keep getting knocked down. Now I'm up. And I'm feeling like I just took my spinach like Popeye. I'm ready to go. I am ready. Now, Yankee fans are in a new spot. It's, oh, crap. This might be, you haven't felt it yet, but it could be the beginning of a change here, especially if they met head-to-head in the World Series.
It could be, or it could be more pain than you've ever felt.
That is
With
true.
all the pain you've already known, it could be worse.
BT Sal, the fan. Randy's in Brooklyn. What's up, Randy?
First of all, guys, I got a couple of things to say. Don't disconnect me till I'm finished. I love you both.
Go ahead.
But you guys are crying like a ninth grader in high school over the same boy. Soto did not choose the Mets. He chose the money.
That's what his mom did.
Wait. Now that the Mets got Uncle Stevie and he's got deep pockets, everybody wants to hit on the Mets for buying. Dodgers done it for years. Yankees done it for years. Why can't we just let the Mets be? Hopefully Soto plays. They're doing great without him. Now he's starting to come into his own, guys. But either way, you got to stop crying about it.
We're
it's ridiculous. All the Yankees fans, Mets fans. Come on, guys. It's the Mets. We haven't had anything for years. Now we finally got something to look forward to.
But who's crying about it? I'm confused as to what your point is. Are you done? Can we hang up on you now, Randy, or you got something else?
No, my point is that the two of you are crying. He chose the Mets. Soto chose the money. If the Yankees would have paid whatever...
Randy, the Mets gave him the money. I am a Met fan. I'm not crying about it. I'm crying tears of joy, for goodness sake. I don't understand what you're listening to. What do you think that you're hearing?
What I'm listening to is that he's got to produce. That's the bottom line. When Dora came here, he hasn't produced. He hasn't produced. Now he's finally starting to hit the last 2 weeks or so.
Yes.
But you know what?
And it's glorious, and thank you for the call. We're not both crying about it. As a matter of fact, even BT, from a Yankee fan perspective, has moved on. Plan B, he's enjoying every second of it.
Yanks are rolling. And by the way, I talk about the projected MVP, projected Cy Young winner. Also, last year's reigning Rookie of the Year is coming back. There's a lot. And by the way, there's a lot of good things with the Mets here. It's just, for me, I don't know.
When I hear that, I know maybe you're not.
Go ahead.
I hear coping.
No.
We got the Rookie of the Year coming back. We got the Cy Young guy. We got this. We got hard hit rate, the OPS, the run differential.
The hard hit rate. Yes, the Yankees' Bauer rate is so good that it has diminished the sting of Juan Soto leaving us. No, listen, if the Yankees, here's where it would be copium. And then that's where the memes, which I was hit with when he left the Yankees, and they were funny, that's where they could reapply here. If the Yankees were in second or third place, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, you got Heel coming back, or somebody, say if Judge was off to a slow start, Judge will get a cooking, they don't really miss Soto. That would be, I think, projecting maybe unnecessary or just unrealistic confidence for them to stabilize it. Now, I know the Yankees aren't perfect, like I know the Mets aren't perfect. But baseball's not perfect. As a matter of fact, baseball in totality sucks right now. There's a lot of bad teams. So what the Yanks run out there and what the Mets run out there are good enough to get to a World Series, which is fun. Unlike others, I'm not preoccupied with the Mets. I follow them, I watch them, I respect them, and I hope to play them in the World Series, and I hope to beat them again.
So the plan B for the first couple of months,
which I was always on board with.
Right.
You got to give me that.
Right.
I was always okay with plan B for the Yankees. And that's
again, because it couldn't afford the right way. The right way would be to bring back Soto and go get Goldschmidt and a pitch.
I do agree with that. And you said that. Right. You're right. But I was always interested in plan B because I thought there was a versatility and there was more defensive, better defenders and just a little better on the bit, more
pieces
athletic.
Fit better.
I thought it was a better
move Judge to right.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So the point is, though, in the beginning, not only was plan B working, Soto was struggling.
For sure.
And then
it was fun.
And then the reports were, well, he's not happy. He really wanted to be a Yankee. Now, like an arm wrestle where plan B was dominating the Soto move to the Mets, now the other arm wrestler in the equation is starting to come back up. Because all of a sudden, Soto is starting to look like Soto. And the Mets plan is also working. So what's going to give? At some point, something will give. Either the Mets plan with Soto is going to prevail, meaning winning a World Series, or the Yankees plan B without Soto is going to be getting to a World Series again and winning a World Series. We will find out one way or another. But right now, it's back to being, hey, Met fans couldn't be happier with the way things worked out. And I think Yankee fans are telling themselves they couldn't be happier with the way things are working out.
Well, to stick with the arm wrestling analogy here, it's okay. So, it started like it looked like literally the Yankees were going to pin the Mets. I get it, like in the third grade, I understood, right? But while the Mets have now offered resistance in the form of Soto playing better, they're not capitalizing on a Yankee weakness. They've gotten back to the middle of the fight, if you will.
Correct.
Due to their strength, not any holes with the Yankees.
And that's fine.
Which is what makes it really interesting. Both teams are good.
And it can be a realistic. We talk about this a lot, and I know it's fun to speculate and trash talk or whatever, but I don't know if you could have a more realistic line to a Subway Series. Now, again, crap happens in the postseason. There's so many variables there, but at least from my perspective, from a Mets perspective, I always kind of expect the Yankees to get there, especially with a weakened American League. But I felt that way even with the Astros. I thought every year, like after 17, the Yanks will break through. They'll break through at some point. It didn't happen until last year, of course. I expect now the Mets to be there. Now, maybe that's a scary thing from a Mets fan perspective.
You should expect that.
Coming in the year, though, it wasn't the case. It was like, let's see what happens. Roll the dice in the
postseason.
The Dodgers, Phillies, Braves. Now, I expect the Mets to be there. All right, we'll continue the conversation when we come back. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on the Fan.